Camber Energy went down by 21.6% on Tuesday's trading session, going from a price of 10.72 cents to 8.4 cents as they prepare for a reverse split. So should you buy? Stay focused for the next 10 minutes as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. Camber Energy had announced a few days ago that they'll reverse split the stock 1 for 50 on 21st December, and the board of directors had approved this reverse split to eliminate the risk of being delisted. This will take the stock's price from the current 10 cents to $5 while reducing your total shares from 50 to 1, and the short sellers will have to cover after this reverse split, which will boost the stock price just like Cosmos. In our opinion, a squeeze of 10 to 20x is likely, taking example of recent bear traps and how the short interest is on the rise. With all that in mind, let's analyze the chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for CEI, and as always, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that it has been announced that CEI is now finally trading at the price of $4.39, which is its post-reverse split price, right? It reverse split for 1 for 50 shares. Right, and now we're up by 50x first up, that's the 5000%, and on top of that we're up by 126% on the normal price action. Right, now first up, let's discuss a bit of news. Right, coming straight from Twitter, I've seen a few tweets that are claiming that Robinhood has taken away the buy button. So first up, I don't know if that's true or not, right? I don't use Robinhood, so I have no way of confirming. But yes, I did see some tweets that said that Robinhood has taken away the buy button. If it's true, well, it's probably just one of the same tricks that, well, we've seen it happen all around with MMTLP, with Cosmos, with all of these shares, right? So that's, well, bad. But if it's not the case, people are also saying that Robinhood, right, on Robinhood, they saw the price spike from 4.44 or 4.3 to 4.8 and 4.9. And just as soon as they, refreshed their, whatever it is, the app, right, it went away, right? It was not even visible in the chart itself. But of course, if we want to analyze the stock, we'll have to ignore the fact that it's up by 5000% because the price and the value remains the same. So now if we talk about the price action, of course, what's going to happen today, in my opinion, now people are claiming that, I saw one user claim that it's going to $50, and another one claimed that it's going to $10, another one claimed that it's going to $12, and I believe $10 or $12 is the most believable zone right now, at least, because of course, if we talk about the short selling and the forced short squeeze, right, I am not exactly sure when that will happen, how that will happen, right? But at the same time, I do know one thing, and that is that even if we're able to pull that off, right, for some reason, looking at the past few weeks, right, how MTLP turned out, how Cosmos turned out, I'm not too sure about where this is going, right? Of course, if a short squeeze is on the brink, market makers and FINRA and SEC will of course have to interfere. Robinhood will interfere, all of these exchanges will interfere, brokerages will interfere, right? And they'll try their best to protect the institutions, right? We've seen this happen countless times, and we might see it happen again. So this, of course, is not any fun about the stock, right? I'm not trying to spread any fear, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up that the market these days especially is really suspicious, and I wouldn't exactly say corrupted, right? But yeah, I mean, of course, I can't say those exact words because of many reasons, right? But you all are, smart enough to understand what I'm trying to say. Now, if we talk about the price action, of course, before the split, we can see that the price action was rather volatile, right? Let me zoom in a bit more. We can see that we had a bearish rally where we fell down by about 45%, right? In a time of 14 days, in a period of 14 days. After that, of course, we got a gap up going up to 68%, and of course, an opening, a gap up opening of 89% at a top of about 140%. After that, the next day, we fell down from the previous day's opening to another opening of 0.10 cents, which is 18% below, and then somewhere around here at 30 or 32% down, right? So in 2 days, we fell by 32% from this opening of 12 cents pretty much. So where are we headed? Well, we'll first have to look at it from the perspective of the current reverse splits. So, 50 or rather 12 cents over here would translate to $6. 10 cents would translate to $5. And of course, 8 cents would translate to the current $4 and stuff, right? And of course, we can see now that I believe this has been updated as well. Now we can see that we're up 3.81% according to this, and there you go, the data has been updated. Well, we captured it, get updated real time, and that solves me a lot of trouble. Now I don't have to do the calculations myself, right? So we can see that the price action indicates that we're still not all that, we are not performing all that well. So, in my opinion, once the market opens, if we get enough volatility and enough volume, which we just might, right? Because we can see that over here, the original volume was 750 million, but now it's 15 million because, of course, the reverse split effects, everything got divided by 50, or rather multiplied by, well, I'm sorry, I'm bad at maths. Excuse that. Anyways, the main point is that if we get enough volume once the market opens, then sure, we are going up. But at the same time, if we don't, that's a bad thing, right? Volume is the main game when it comes to short squeezes. So if we can get enough volume, if we can get enough attention to the stock, you should probably open Twitter, Investors Hub, Finance, right? Yahoo Finance, whatever you use, and flood that stuff with CEI, right? Let others know that CEI is pumping. Let others know that the reverse split is done. Let others know that they will merge with Viking Energy real soon, right? Of course, now this is again just my own opinion that we need to spread awareness and even more awareness than we have right now if we want this short squeeze to be executed properly, because otherwise, we all know what's going to happen, right? Pretty much the same situation as MMTLP and the other stocks will likely be the fate of CEI if enough attention and enough people are not involved. Now, just another clarification, I'm not trying to side with the shorts or spread FUD. I just want you guys to be safe because I've seen countless incidents like this, right? And the recent one, right, the most recent one being MMTLP, where I've seen low income families, people who are the most vulnerable, right, the most vulnerable people of the society be affected by these things, and it's truly sad at this point, right? So I don't want you guys to be manipulated or let the market corrupt, or rather, um, scam you out of your stuff, pretty much, right? That's the entire gist of it. And yeah, with that, of course, we'll have to jump on into the 1 hour chart and we'll see what's going on in the pre-market there as well, and the aftermarket performance too. And now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we'll quickly, why did I do that? I'm sorry for that. We'll get into the extended trading hours, and we can see that on the pre-market, we've already made a pin bar on the lower side, which is not a good sign, right? We hit a top of 4.89, which is showing over here. And even though people were claiming that it disappeared on Robinhood, then probably it might have been a glitch, because we can see that the price clearly went to 4.9 over here, got resisted, fell down to the current 4. Well, it's 4.35 at the moment, but it fell down over here to 4.4, 4.41 pretty much. After that, the next candle opened at 4.45, fell down to 4.35. We're currently up a 3.57%, right? Which then again, it will get better in my opinion as the volumes kick in, because of course pre-markets are not the best place for volumes. But at the same time, what I fear is that if we continue this bearish trend, it will just give shorts another reason to spread for about the stock, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, what do you call it? I'm scared of this particular thing, that if that happens, probably a lot of fear will be spread and people will actually start to believe that fear, because I've seen that a lot of communities these days have, I wouldn't exactly call them weak holders, but vulnerable holders would be a better part, right? It would be a better way to state things. So those vulnerable holders can of course be affected by what the shorts say, and I've seen this with MULN specifically, that when people blame David Mishery for a lot of things, a lot of people said, and they directly told me this, that they got so affected by that negative situation, that negative place, that they entirely left anything, they don't want anything to do with the stock, and that's a bad thing, right? And that, of course, should not happen with any stock. That's the unethical part. That's the sad part of short selling. But of course, if we want to see where exactly today's performance will head, we'll have to jump on into the most detailed chart, which of course is the 5-minute chart. And now that we're in the 5-minute chart, we can see that on the aftermarket yesterday, we did go up quite a bit, right? We touched $5.22, $5.2 pretty much, but then we got resisted, fell down, made somewhat of a double bottom. We are holding off this support at 4.5 pretty well over here. Now it turned into resistance, of course, because we fell down. And over here, we can see that volumes kind of spiked this up. Of course, these volumes that you see over here are not exactly correct, right? At least I don't think they're correct. They might be correct, right? I'm not too sure about that. But we can see that the Robinhood glitch that we were talking about, we can see that for a single 5-minute candle, we hit this high of 4.8, $4.9, right? And then we fell down, taking support around, let's see, first up, $4.38. Right now, we're taking support around 4.28, and then the next support would likely be at 4.25, then $4.2, $4.2, then 4.18. Wait, 4.22 will likely be another support, right? And what's going to happen today, in my opinion, is because we can see that the aftermarket is rather bearish, I would say. It's not exactly sideways, it's a bit bearish. So I personally would like the fact that it gets, or rather, I would like this scenario to play out, right? This is my personal preference that I would like it to go down over here to 4.2, or rather 4.22, and then get a buy, a buying spree over here when the market opens, of course, and then we can start going up, break 4.5, and then we are free. 4.5 will be a hard resistance, right? After that, 4.8 will be another resistance, and $5 will be another one, of course. This is psychological, 5.2 and 5.5. So basically 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, 20. Keep adding that, keep subtracting that. You'll get good support and resistance levels. Why can't I get it proper? Well, never mind. Now, if you ask my opinion on the stock, of course, considering the factors, right? If everything's to go well, if everything was to go well, I am bullish on the stock. But at the same time, if we kind of consider in the dark things, the kind of the gray areas, right? Like market corruption and all of that stuff, if that happens, well, we'll have nowhere to go, right? That's just my honest opinion. And of course, I could be wrong. So, most definitely, you should remember that this is definitely not financial advice. And you should always do your own research before you trade or invest. At the same time, if you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.